Hello everyone. So today we are going to discuss the Unit 8 of OTHM Level 5 Extended Diploma in Business Management. And this unit is about the management of human resources. First, we will discuss its learning outcome 1, in which we try to understand the purpose and objective of human resource management. So we have the first assessment criteria, in which we explain how human resource management has evolved. First, we will discuss the concept of HRM. So HRM basically focuses on managing people within an organization, and it basically involves different coherent and strategic approaches to manage the employees in the company, and it always ensures the well-being of the employees, their motivation, their productivity, and it always aligns the human resources strategy with overall business objectives, and it focuses on the recruitment, development, and retention of the talented employees in the organization. And HRM also plays an important role in managing the culture of the organization and performance of the organization. Now we have next slide about the evolution of HRM. So we have some point to discuss here. First is the welfare office era. This era basically focused on the well-being of the employees, for example, their basic benefits, and to ensure the workers and health and safety. The second era is the labor manager era. In this era, they emphasized on the labor relations, enforcing work rules, and negotiating with unions. Then we have the third era, that is personal management era. In this era, they manage the employee records, recruitment, and basic employees relation. Then we have HRM era. In HRM era, there is the strong strategic partner in business that focus on the talent development, culture, and alignment with the business objectives. Now we will discuss second assessment criteria, in which we will discuss the purpose of HRM. The first purpose is staffing. It is one of the important purpose of the HRM, which ensures that right people must be in the right roles of the organization. Then we have second purpose, that is employee engagement. Its purpose is to keep the employees motivated and connected in the organization. Then we have third purpose, that is workforce planning, and this purpose is strategically planning the future talent needs. Now we will discuss the third assessment criteria, in which we explain the objective of human resource management. So what are the objectives? The first objective is employee compensation, and it keeps talent satisfied financially. Then we have discipline. It ensures that employees are always stick to the standard and guidelines of the organization. Then we have talent management, and its objective is to attract, retain, and develop the best talent in the company. Then we have performance management, and the goal of this objective is to ensure the high employee performance and development in the organization. Now we have second learning outcome, in which we try to understand the function of HRM. So we have the first assessment criteria, in which we explain the key operational function of HRM. The key operational function of HRM include, first we have recruitment and selection. In recruitment and selection, we find and hire the right talent for the organization. And then we have training and development, in which we ensure that employees are skilled and ready for their roles. Then we have employee welfare, in which we maintain a positive and supportive work environment. Then we have employment law and compliance, in which we ensure the adherence to all legal obligations and regulations. Now we have the second assessment criteria, in which we explain the key strategic functions of HR. Then we have the third assessment criteria in which we assess the relationship between business strategy and HR. Now we have the third learning outcome, in which we understand how internal and external factor impact the HRM functions. So we have the first assessment criteria for that, in which we compare the internal factor which affect the HRM. So we have different internal factors here, which include resource and capabilities, leadership, learning and development, motivation, business and functional strategies, organizational structure, equality and diversity. Now we will discuss these factors one by one. So what is resource and capabilities? It is basically the availability of the tools, technology and skills that HR can leverage to meet the goals of the organization. Then what is leadership? Leadership is the influence of the leader on shaping the HR policies, culture and employee engagement. Then we have learning and development. It is basically the ongoing education and training that equips the employee with skill and promotes growth. Then we have motivation, in which is the employee motivation levels which drive their performance and retention within the organization. Then we have business and functional strategies. These are basically the alignment of HR practices with the organizational business strategies and goals. Then we have organizational culture. They are the shared values and norms that guide employee behavior and HR management approaches. Then we have equality and diversity. It is basically the ongoing education and training that equips the employees with a skill and promotes growth. Then we have several external factors, which includes competition and pastoral forces, skill trends, competitor behavior, HR availability, HR cost, and legislation. Now we will discuss them one by one. So what is pastel? In pastel, we have the first factor, that is political, which include government policies, regulation, and labor laws that can affect the HR practices. Then we have economic factor, which include the economic conditions like inflation, recession, or growth that influence the HR cost and recruitment. Then we have social factors, which include social trend and cultural changes that shape the workforce expectations and HR strategies. Then we have technological factor, which include advancement in technology that impact HR function, for example, recruitment and employee management. Then we have environmental factor that include sustainability concerns and eco-friendly practices that can influence the organizational policies. And at last, we have the legal factor, which include the employment laws and regulations that determine the HR compliance and employee rights. And now we have the other external factor, for example, skill trends. It is basically the changes that are required in the skill set within the industry which influence the talent acquisition. Then we have competitor behavior. So the competitors' HR practices and talent strategies always affect the recruitment and retention in the organization. Then we have HR availability. It is the availability of the skilled labor in the job market. Then we have HR cost, which is the fluctuation in the compensation, benefit, and training expense driven by marketing condition. Then we have legislation. It is the changing labor laws and compliance requirement which influence the HR policy. Now we have the fourth learning outcome, in which we try to understand the modern development and human resource management function in our business. So first we have the first assessment criteria for that, in which we discuss the impact of technological advancement, for example, artificial intelligence and automation on different functions of HRM. So first we will discuss the impact of technological advancement on HRM. So a streamlined recruitment process is its first impact. For example, the technology now accelerates the recruitment by automating the task, for example, posting job and sorting the applications. Then we have automated screening and candidate matching. We have now different AI tools that quickly matches the candidates with the job requirement, which saves the time. Then we have enhanced employee performance tracking. Now we have automation system that help in real-time monitoring and evaluating the employee performance metrics. Then we have AI-driven analytics for management. Now we have different AI that generates data insight to help managers and make informed decision about workforce planning. Now we have the improved employee engagement. We have different AI tools that foster continuous engagement through personalized feedback and recognition systems. Then we have communication via AI powered chatbots, in which there are different chatbots that handle routine queries, providing instant response to the employees. We have several other impacts, for example, virtual assistants for assistant, in which we have AI powered virtual assistants that support HR staff by managing schedules and reminders. Then we have efficient training and development program, in which AI enhances the training with interactive and adaptive learning tools. Then we have personalized leading platform, in which employee always receive tailored training programs based on their skill gaps and career goals. Then we have automated administrative tasks, in which there are routine tasks, for example, payroll, benefits, and attendance tracking, which are handled by the automations these days. Then we have reduction of HR workload. For example, automation takes over repetitive tasks, which allows HR to focus on strategic initiatives. Then we have increased efficiency. For example, technology always boosts HR efficiency by speeding up the process and reducing the human goals. Now we have the second assessment criterion, which we discuss the effectiveness of initiative, for example, flexible working arrangement, mental health program, and diversity training. So, what are flexible working arrangement? First, we have promote work-life balance. It helps the employees to manage the personal and professional responsibilities in more effective manner. Then we have to allow for personalized schedules. Employees can adjust their work hours to fit their personal needs. Then we have to increase the employee autonomy, which provides the worker with greater control over how and when they complete the task, which ultimately boosts the morale of the employees. Then we have different mental health program, which provide support for the employees' mental well-being, and which offer resources for stress management and different coping strategies, and again which reduce absenteeism of the employees and improves their overall productivity. Thank you so much. This is all about this unit. If you have any question, please feel free to ask. Thank you so much.